Welcome back to the KDL, everybody. We just wrapped up Songnam Rocks versus Potential. Now it's time to go into ShowTime versus Sensation. I am staying with me is Peter. Excited to go into our next match.
Yeah, ShowTime is going to be having a difficult matchup today against Sensation. You know, despite Sensation being a team with only 0 wins, I feel like they're still very formidable so far as we see the members of ShowTime walking onto the stage.
Yeah, Sensation, although, ShowTime, excuse me, they haven't really been able to get on that board just yet. I mean, they have 2 losses so far. Their round differential is -6. This is a team that, you know, a lot of people coming into this season had high hopes for, you know, coming through with some upsets, but as of yet, not really able to pull it out. Whereas, you know, Sensation, they also aren't having the best start, but keep in mind, this is a team with the Emperor, right? They might be amateurs technically, but I feel like that's only in name only as Sensation. I would love to see him make the playoffs right now. You see him walking out on the stage, all smiles.
They're coming out in a train formation. This team, they definitely have a lot of confidence. I think for any team to field a 4-man roster, it definitely takes confidence in your players because you're going to have the same set of players playing in both speed and item. And so far, we've seen success of that happening with Guangdong Freaks. And honestly, I feel like Sensation might catch up to that success. They need to start here, however.
Yeah, a little bit of a roster shakeup there for Sensation as well as, you know, Speed switched teams. He's now on Live Sandbox and changed his ID. And Sensation now adding Joker to their roster. They'll be trying to fill that out. And they're up against these amateurs today. ShowTime, ST, having completed their Ace Match debut, now heading step by step towards their first victory.
Yep, both teams are looking for it, but ShowTime especially more so in the sense that they're sitting at 2 losses right now. If they lose today, they'd be down 0-3 along with Potential. And if they want to emerge as a better rookie team, they need to start adding some of the wins that really count. However, their team average rank in speed, it is not looking too good.
Yeah, it has a bit to be desired. As SST, ST, the team names are confusing. What are we supposed to do in game? We were talking about this before we went live today. The initialisms for these teams are, they can be tough, ST versus SST, but hey, you know, it's a round robin. Only got to do it once.
Yep, this is the only time we'll see it unless both teams move on to postseason. On the other side, it is the players of Sensation. I think every single player here is well known by the fans coming in from the Kart Rider League because they had such a phenomenal history so far, especially in players like Hojin, the Emperor.
Yeah, showcasing extraordinary gameplay even in matches where they have lost. Will their win streak begin here? I think it might because, you know, Sensation, team with a lot of experience despite being an amateur team. Hojin, the Emperor, the god of the original kart rider coming through, leading this team as the speed ace.
Interesting there.
ST versus SST is the blurb we get for this team as both of them having fun with their similar initialisms. But yeah, definitely favoring Sensation for me here. I mean, they are confident enough to run with a 4-man squad. I think that says a lot. And also, I mean, just the veteran leadership of Hojin at the top of the ranks it means so much.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Sensation being on a loss streak, but they only lost once, so I'm sure they're not too concerned about that as we take a look at the speed track list. Of course, for Zigzag Timberland, not too surprising to see one of our veteran teams wanting to pick that up for round number 1. Also, speed priority there by Sensation.
Yeah, Boom Hill Tunnel will be track number 2, Terracotta Twister track number 3, and should we go to round 4 and round 5, those will be played on World Tour New York Rally and Desert Construction Chaos. So Sensation definitely picking the more difficult tracks here. Zigzag Timberland and Terracotta Twister, their first 2 picks, and Construction Chaos, their 3rd pick there in round number 5. Definitely feel like they want to flex their skills in speed over this rookie team.
It's interesting that both WKC tracks got banned out by Sensation there because I know their players have practiced on that track quite a lot. So I don't think it's a lack of confidence. It's probably more like we don't want our amateur opponent to have these rather easier tracks where the fields are wide.
Yeah, we definitely see a little bit of a meta there, especially between these veteran teams and these rookie teams in terms of how maps are drafted. And we'll see how it plays out here as we're getting ready to start with this series, ShowTime versus Sensation on Forest Zigzag Timberland.
Off we go into our first speed round between Sensation and ShowTime. We have Feiz and Ghost having a pretty nice position for ShowTime.
Yeah, I like that start from them. Some really good collisions early on, able to work their way into the front of the pack, but Hojin and Percent fighting back, especially now with Guard coming up the rear, actually working his way all the way up into second place as the sweeping is starting to come through. Feiz and Ghost feel like they're getting boxed in a little bit behind the top two here for Sensation.
I feel like the form of Hojin is absolutely on point this season, and he's showing that off right now. First place with a humongous lead, and there's Guard in second place, Percent, Joker in 4-6. It's looking really good for Sensation.
Yeah, but a lot of that lead also comes down to the fantastic sweeping we saw earlier on from those middle-ranked players here on Team Sensation as Ghost and Monster. They have to really fight to try and close the distance. You just see Percent and Joker, they keep coming in, they keep making these collisions. See Joker go for the really tight line, was trying to catch Flare there, wasn't quite able to get him. As now Ghost working his way up into the top three, and Percent now zoning him out. Look at these body blocks.
Yeah, Ghost does manage to pass finally, but he's still far behind Guard, and even Guard can play sweeper roll, and then it'll be Percent's turn to go in for that 1-2. So yeah. Sensation with the ironclad control coming into our second lap.
Yeah, Sensation just showing a lot of skill here on Zigzag Timberlands as more sweeping coming through. Percent, you can see him just getting ready to try and sideswipe these guys. Joker as well. As a 1-2 finish is a guaranteed win here for Sensation if they can hold on to it. Watch to see Joker try and make a play.
Yeah, Joker going in for the lines, completely tackling.
Look at that.
And causing chaos in the lines of ShowTime.
Just like a pinball machine, man. Just keeps bouncing off ShowTime player after player after player. And look at the gap now between Hojin, Guard, and the remaining players here for ShowTime. This all comes down to Joker. His body blocking has been superb.
Yeah, now for Ghost and Flare to try to catch up, but it's not going to be enough. You see Hojin and Guard with a huge lead, and that's not going to get caught up to any time soon.
Yeah, now Joker and Percent are just going to try and build that nitro gauge as best they can, as a lot of their work here is done. Joker, we'll see if he can get a little bit more, a couple more swipes in here on Ghost and Flare, but man, these guys really have to play catch up right now. Only 500 meters left to go.
Guard and Hojin is looking to take this one home for Sensation as they are left unchecked, coming in for a 1-2 punch.
Man, you can see the camera, the picture-in-picture there in the bottom left. Hojin so pumped with that win. Everything just went according to plan there. I mean, Guard and Hojin, they ran away with that thing from the very beginning, and the sweeping there from the middle players on this team, just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Percent and Joker are just really playing out of their minds. A really solid team effort, top to bottom.
Yeah, and I love the play style difference of Hojin coming into Preseason 2. I feel like a lot of the focus on Hojin is now about maintaining his own build and focusing on just basically outrunning his opponents.
Yeah, and on the collisions there, we got a brief look at it. Every single player on ShowTime had at least 7 collisions. Half of them had 10. That is so much momentum getting sapped away by the sweeping of these middle-ranked players here on Team Sensation as they are coming out swinging here in speed mode. And Peter, I loved what you said about Hojin's form right now as we see him just continue to run away with this. It just looks so good. He is so fast. We saw in the ace match against Neil. It's just unbelievable what this guy's able to do.
Yeah, this is Joker right here getting some highlight himself. He was constantly there tackling Monster, you know, checking Flare. I feel like just the fact that you have a racer next to you, it definitely puts pressure on you. It makes you want to take these different builds that you wouldn't have otherwise, which creates mistakes.
Especially on a narrow track such as Zigzag Timberland, right? With so many sweeping turns, there's a lot of room for you to make body blocks and cause trouble for the opposing team. That's what Sensation did to perfection there in track number 1. Let's see if they can keep that up here as we get ready to go to track number 2, Village Boom Hill Tunnel. And off we go on Boom Hill Tunnel. Sensation looks to keep the momentum going here. Percent and Guard off to a fantastic start here in top 3. Joker on the outside, shoring that up, man. Looking really good.
Sensation repeating strategy they did on the Zigzag Timberland, and this is a much wider track, but it doesn't seem to really hold them back. Now Flare and Ghost, they're the only hopes for ShowTime right now. Feiz and Monster back so far.
Yeah, Feiz and Monster have to play a little bit of catch-up here and potentially draft off of each other to close the distance as we have a 3 versus 2 here in the upper ranks. Joker also coming in with the rear. We'll try to cause some problems. And Guard, oh my goodness, the sweeping is so good right now. Just zoning out Ghost, trying to give Hojin some more breathing room. As this, oh my god, look at these attacks! Look at the momentum here for ShowTime just getting absolutely stolen.
Yeah, it's like a protect the president right now. Everyone on President Hojin. Ghost is looking for the build along with Flair. And another member of ShowTime. This may give them what they want, but not quite enough.
Yeah, that build did help them close the distance a little bit here, but now it's Guard and Hojin drafting off of each other, doing the best that they can to just compound on this lead. And keep in mind, this is a one-lapper. There isn't too much track left to be played. 300 meters away. Sensation, Hojin, and Guard just running away with this thing, and an easy 1-2 finish for Sensation. I mean, the body blocking, the sweeping coming out of Sensation is something we haven't really seen at this level from this team in KDL Preseason 1, but we're definitely seeing it now in Preseason 2.
This is such a great way for Sensation to come back here in Preseason 2 because in their first match against Live Sandbox, they did get 0-3'd in speed, but now it's them who is up 2-0, looking to secure one more win to have a clean sweep in speed here. And I must say, if we see Sensation go to item with the win and speed in their pockets, it may be hard for ShowTime to force an ace match.
Yeah, and Guard's sweeping is just out of this world right now, really carrying a lot of the weight for this team, whereas Hojin just runs away with it, man. You give him an inch, he takes a mile. It feels like both on track number 1 and track number 2. I mean, as soon as he broke away from the pack, there was nothing catching up with him. His builds are impeccable. And now the pressure is on here for Team ShowTime, who, as of yet, I mean, they're down 0-2 overall in the standings. They are yet to pick up a win. They're second to last and round differential as well. They got to get the ball going sometime soon, but Sensation just looking so good right now, looking to complete the 3-0 sweep here in speed mode as we go to another difficult track. It will be World Tour Terracotta Twister.
Sensation looking to close it out on this match point here in the track choice of their own. As we see Guard actually leading the pack this time. Hojin is pretty far behind. This may be what ShowTime needs to try to do a comeback.
Yeah, as far as starts go, having Hojin a little bit under control is the best you could hope for here for ShowTime, but just watch him try to find these inner lines to work his way back in as the Emperor is hungry for another crown here. Gary doing his best to lead the pack, try and slow ShowTime down as best he can, but Feiz coming into this tomb section is able to get the better of him.
But Hojin is catching up right now. He's like a hawk looking for his next meal. As Hojin, he's able to take first, and the members of ShowTime are in disarray.
Yeah, but Guard there with an uncharacteristic misstep got clipped against the wall. That's going to have him fall all the way down into 7th place. So now for Sensation, it's Hojin all by his lonesome here in first. His percent now is going to try and close the distance and lend some support to the speed ace of Sensation.
It's still a massive position advantage of Sensation overall as a team. Even if Ghost takes first place, it's not enough right now because you see Flair and Monster. These two have constantly been in the bottom 2 for ShowTime so far. So Ghost, he needs to build pressure on Hojin and try to make percent do a mistake like that.
Yeah, and somehow Guard, despite that big hiccup there in the inner tomb area, is able to work his way all the way back into 5th place. So the skill really shining through here for Sensation is now percent trying to do a little bit of body blocking coming back into the tomb. We'll see if there are any more missteps for these plays. Ghost has to make something happen here. Feiz, a little bit greedy there with his build. Does collide with a wall, and now it's 4 out of 5 players for Sensation dominating the ranks.
We see Feiz, he's racing across to try to surpass Joker, but it's not going to be enough whatsoever. Ghost is alone in 2nd place as we see Hojin. It doesn't even matter anymore. 2-3-4 is still a win condition for Sensation.
Yeah, Sensation just playing that fantastically, and man, credit where credit is due. I thought Guard was going to be out of that race after he clipped that wall on lap number 1, but he worked his way all the way back to lead the pack there for Sensation, finish 2nd overall as they secure the 2-3-4 win, and one of the most one-sided sweeps I've seen in speed mode so far in Preseason 2.
And what an ideal birthday gift to Hojin, as we saw the fans saying happy birthday to Hojin there.
Oh, is it his birthday?
Not exactly today, it was yesterday, but close enough, right?
It's his birthday somewhere in the world.
Yeah, maybe in America.
Yeah.
Because the time is different.
For the forward fans watching, it's Hojin's birthday there, so make sure to wish him well. As Sensation can be really happy with that 3-0 win in speed mode, just looking so solid, man. I love the sweeping that we saw to them in track number 1 and track number 2. And in track number 3, I feel like we didn't see too much of that body blocking, of them creating problems. It was really just raw mechanical skill going through the best possible builds. We did even have that one hang up there by guard, but still able to close the distance. Just goes to show, I mean, the skill on this team is just impeccable.
Yeah, so far in KDL, it feels like a lot of the teams, they were having a lot of hiccups, even against rookie teams, having to go all the way to ace matches. But on the other hand, Sensation here, looking to secure their first victory today, but they're also looking really dominant while doing it. It almost makes you feel like ShowTime has almost no chance against the current form of Sensation because everyone is playing their role to the T. Hojin playing that runner role, even when he starts in 5th, 6th, he manages to get to that first place. And you saw Guard, as you said, even if he makes a big mistake, he just manages to catch back up.
And Percent as well, just doing so good sweeping, but if ShowTime is going to mount a comeback, it's going to be here in item mode. As we look at the item track list here for match number 9, we will be starting out on World Tour London Night, followed by Glacier Shark's Wake. Okay, we get to see it again. Magma Cavern 2, it's another map that I like a lot, and should we go to a track 4, track 5, we will see Cartwheel Crush and Pharaoh's Pass.
I feel like the key of this matchup is going to be all in that round number 1 because it was ShowTime who was able to pick their track in World Tour London Night. And as we saw earlier, this track comes with a lot of volatility. As long as you time your offensive items right, you can absolutely take all momentum there. And if we see ShowTime lose in that track of their choice, it may be Sensation with another clean sweep.
Yeah, it really does feel like the track that has the most wombo combo potential there right at the finish line. Right when you come through that Ferris wheel, there's so much room, excuse me, for an attack, and we'll see how it plays out as we're getting ready to go into item mode. Sensation versus ShowTime on World Tour London Night.
We begin our item round 1. Let's see if ShowTime can put a point up on the board here in London Night.
Would love to see it. Would love to get another ace match, especially considering how good Hojin looked against Neil. And one of the best ace matches that I've seen earlier here in KDL Preseason too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic racing by him, losing that one by a hair. But, you know, Sensation, it just feels like so far today, they are really on point.
Yep, and we're seeing that reiteration right here with Percent trying to take a huge lead for himself. We did see it almost paying off for Temin earlier today in the matches. Sensation, they do have a pretty nice team position as well.
Yeah, good position, but keep in mind this is only lap number 1. There's a lot of track left to be played, and on a wide one like this, it's actually, I was about to say, it's really hard to land these water bombs. Hojin actually drove right into one straight down the middle there, as he's going to fall all the way down to 8th place. Now it is Percent, Monster, Guard, and Joker here in top 4. Thrawn right behind him.
Joker putting a lot of emphasis on sweeping today here, even in the item mode. Now he's just going to be able to speed up to try to take the lead, but he's going to get caught out by the water bomb. Now it's Thrawn with the lightning there, and there's no Angel on the board for Sensation. It's 2 lightnings in total for the team ShowTime. This could get scary.
Yeah, Hojin with 2 shields decides not to rotate those out, interestingly, here on lap number 2, as he wants to work his way all the way into first place. Hopefully going to rely on his teammates to connect with some attacks here. It's actually Percent. It seemed like he tried to body block Flare into that water bomb. Wasn't able to manifest it, though.
You can see right now that the strategy is all inning for ShowTime on those double lightnings they're holding. There's only 2 shields on the side of Sensation. No Angel whatsoever as we approach the final lap. I feel like if there's no Angel being picked up by Sensation, it could look really rough on them.
Yeah, as we see those lightnings now coming in, Hojin does get slowed down. He's going to fall all the way to 8th place, not even able to make his way up the ramp there. He didn't have no speed, and now it's up for these players at the top of the track. Feiz right now in first place. Braun actually does pass him, but the magnet getting popped. It's actually Flare and Joker. Wait, no, Joker out of nowhere with the magnet. Able to come through for Sensation. Oh my goodness, Joker, where did you come from, man? Stealing victory for the Jaws of Defeat, as it felt like ShowTime had that one in the bag, but Joker living up to his name, man. He's a wild card coming through there at the finish.
As you said, ShowTime did everything right. They chained their double lightnings near the edge of that 3rd lap. And then they even use the magnet on each other to try to boost into the finish line with the player in the front using a booster as well. But somehow it's Joker who comes in out of nowhere, speeding in like a bolt of lightning. And with Sensation taking round 1, it is looking really concerning for me right now if you're a fan of ShowTime.
Yeah, very well played there by Sensation. I guess all the attacks, excuse me, for ShowTime. You know, one of them popped on Hojin. I'm not sure exactly who got the second lightning bolt, but there was a lot of damage coming in. Joker, unfazed with that magnet in the bag, was able to just barely thread the needle and secure that win. As if you're a ShowTime fan watching from home, I feel for you because Sensation seems like they're on another level tonight. All smiles as well, looking to secure this win here in item mode.
We've seen that domination replicated only by Aura so far in Preseason 2, and if we see another 6-0 happen here today from Sensation, it may be the momentum the team needs, because right now in 4th place, Seongnam Rocks, Live Sandbox, Wanglong Freaks, Aura, all of them have 2 wins and 0 losses. If Sensation were to lose today, it would be really, really drastically bad.
It would be for Sensation, but they're looking very good right now. Only 2 tracks wins away from securing a 2-0 win. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going as we move on to round number 2, Glacier Sharks Wake. And if ShowTime is going to mount a comeback, it's going to have to start now. It feels like time is running out for them here in item mode. Already down 1-0 against Sensation after dropping speed.
Oh. Cute little mistake there by Hojin, but maybe not. You know, you never know. He could have wanted double items by being spawned back in the map.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's hard to read exactly what the plan is for these racers here in item mode, as that could be just Hojin wanting to fall all the way to the bottom ranks, increase the propagation of some of these attacks, and, you know, support the team that way. It's like a chess match playing item mode, and it's hard to follow sometimes exactly what the strategies can be.
But we do see the strategy right now for Joker. It's all about absorbing aggro for Sensation. You know, ShowTime, they don't have too many offensive items. They did now manage to pick up a couple of them. We'll see if they use them on Joker here.
Yeah, Water Wisp there for Flare, as he actually missed picking up another item. A little bit of a hiccup as Joker is going to cycle through all of those shields, deflect these attacks, does pick up another Water Wisp, so hopefully we'll be able to do some counter damage here should Fron and Flare pass him. And Hojin, despite that Hurley misstep falling off, all the way in 1st place now with a shield and the magnet.
Yep, the magnet is going to be especially helpful in case he does fall behind too. You have to contest spot 1 again, as we see Flare. He's coming up right now to flank Hojin. Hojin was targeted by the UFO, but it wasn't enough. He's still maintaining 1st.
Yeah, a lot of rockets too here for ShowTime. I think they have 2 right behind Hojin, so expect a lot more attacks to come in on him. As yes, he does pop 1 more shield to deflect the missile. Does not have another one to get this though, as Hojin just keeps picking up these shields, but the missiles also just keep coming as Monster gets another one.
Yep, I like the dodge on the water bomb there by Monster and Feiz. However, they are in 2-3 right now. Feiz holding on to a double magnet here. Yeah. He's gonna look to use that on Hojin soon.
Oh, he's not even gonna cycle any of them out. So yeah, he's gonna go for the double magnet. Gonna be probably the guy to try and cross the finish line here for a ShowTime. It's getting closer and closer. Hojin also does have a magnet in his bag. There is an EMP for Flare as well, as Agent Shield does get popped, but no, it's gonna be Monster really with no contention. Just crossing the finish line there as ShowTime gonna tie things up here in item mode 1-1.
Yep, the barricade was the hope for Sensation there. However, the shield came out expertly from Monster. And at that point, there was no stop to his momentum as we're now, I must say, this is going a lot closer than I expected for item mode. I was sure that ShowTime was done for if they lost round 1, but if they win round 2, which Sensation chose for the track, it may not be over and we may have an ace match.
Yeah, both teams winning on their opponent's pick is kind of an interesting way for item mode to develop here as we're getting ready to go into track number 3 shortly. And both these teams now 2 round wins away from deciding exactly our fate. Of course, Sensation having won speed mode already, should they win 2 more tracks, will secure a victory here, whereas if you're ShowTime, you're fighting to go into an ace match potentially against the Emperor himself, Hojin, who seems like he's in such good form right now. It's a daunting prospect for this rookie team.
Yeah, it's like climbing a mountain after another mountain, but that's what it takes to go up against the talents in KDL, especially now being in Preseason 2, where players have had more time to adapt to this new game in Kart Rider Drift.
Now you can feel the talent developing here across the board as players just keep getting better and better, and we'll see what they're able to show off here as we get ready to go to round number 3. It's going to be my Magma Cavern.
Off we go into round number 3. We are tied 1-1 right now between ShowTime and Sensation. It's going to be a 3-lapper track.
Yeah, a really fun one too. I think Magma Cavern, at least for me, this is my favorite visually map that we have right now in the item mode pool. It's so cool, all this lava flowing, very dangerous, a lot of areas you can fall off as well. As a result of that, water bombs very deadly here because you don't want to hang too tight on the edge. Because you don't want to risk falling into the lava, right? You don't want to have to come back onto the field all the way back in 8th place. And a lot of plays can be made. We'll see exactly how both teams decide to use the terrain to their advantage. Is this place right here, especially on this ramp, as a water bomb just pops, can be so pivotal in deciding right before the finish line who's going to be able to cross should those attacks come through.
I love that point you make, Stain. I'm sure we'll see that on 3rd lap especially, but right now it's Percent in the lead for Sensation. He's holding on to a shield, as well as a Lightning. I do love that Lightning choice as well.
Yeah, Lightning's always solid. It's one of the better items that we have here in item mode. A very, potent attack these players have at their disposal. As Monster can throw that waterproof balloon. Will be able to catch Guard. Braun spinning out here as the attacks just continue to come through relentlessly on both sides.
Yep. We see even Hojin taking a spin there from the missile. Now it's Feiz and Percent fighting for that leading spot for their teams. Now we are in the 3rd lap. And as we take a look at the item inventory, there's a Lightning from Percent as well as Hojin, while ShowTime has no Lightning at all, and that can really make a difference in momentum.
Yeah, not too many nitrous or magnets on the field already. It's just mostly attack. So look to see these players try to hold on. And, this is exactly what I talked about, man. You can't turn when you get hit by a missile like that. So that's going to be Percent falling all the way back into the bottom as now Flare and Feiz in 1st and 2nd place, each with a shield as well. In a commanding position here, 500 meters from the finish line.
We have 1, 2, 3 being held by ShowTime currently. The Lightning is going to be used, however, by Sensation. Guard and Hojin looking to pass Feiz with an excellent shield. Guard, he's blocked out right now by Feiz, but Hojin!
What an insane play! Guard with the Magnet was able to sap away enough momentum from Feiz that Hojin, with no items of his own on the outside, was able to, by an inch, pass Feiz and take that victory. What a cool play there from Sensation. I thought that ShowTime had it in the bag with 3 players leading the pack, heading right through that straightaway ramp towards the finish line, but it's going to be Hojin by literally less than a 1/10 of a second getting the victory.
That was super clutch from Guard. He literally went up right to his back as if he was piggybacking there, and as you said, utilizing that magnet in combo with Hojin, just looking for that 1st place finish, was the game-winning strategy coming in from Sensation. And I must say, it's really hard in such a tense moment when you're literally about 50 meters away from the finish line to be able to pull something off like that with your teammate. So this shows the form of Sensation.
Yeah, we get a recap of this right now. Look at this replay here as Guard pops that magnet. And if he didn't do this, Feiz would have had enough speed to pass Hojin. Keep in mind, it was half of a 1/10 of a second separating Hojin in 1st from his opponent in 2nd. So that magnet just giving enough oomph for Hojin to pass. You can see them laughing. They know they got away with something dirty on that one, as that was a sneaky play. But man, I love what we're seeing out of Sensation.
Absolutely, but now we are ready for track number 4. It is chosen by Sensation themselves in Factory Cogwheel Crush.
Match point here for Sensation, up 2-1 in this best of 5. Just 1 track win away from securing the 2-0 sweep.
And right now we're seeing Percent leading the pack with an EMP in his pocket. Joker and Hojin also coming up, but we're not surprised to see Joker fall back down because he wants to utilize that missile.
He wants to come through with a lot more attacks and support his teammates that way, as Hojin and Percent, players here for Sensation that are trying their best to run away with this one. As a lot of water rush coming out. Hojin actually with a shield able to deflect that one. So another one, if I'm not mistaken. So able to absorb a lot of aggro here is Hojin.
Speaking of aggro, that missile is going to go wild because of the shield. And now, a nice catch there onto the members of ShowTime. It's going to set them back and buy more time for Hojin to keep up his lead. Feiz, of course, trying to now do some catch-up.
More attacks coming in for the ShowTime players, and actually able to catch the shortcut is Hojin and Guard. Nobody from ShowTime was able to make it in, so now there's a lot of distance here between first and second place for Sensation, and a water bomb as well. So all this momentum getting sapped. We're gonna have to see more UFOs get popped as Hojin and Guard. Those UFOs do slow them down enough for Feiz to close the distance, but that was a lot of expensive items that ShowTime had to cycle through to be able to, you know, dampen this lead.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling than when you use a magnet to play catch-up, but you get caught off guard in the middle of it. And as you said, they're just spinning out of control right now, the players of ShowTime. They're not able to recover with Guard blocking out front. Once again, spinning. Hojin has such a magnificent lead.
Yeah, looking at the mini-map right now, Hojin is really far ahead, maybe 100 meters even, away from Monsters. We'll see if more attacks can come through here. Yep, Water Wisp there on Monster, but he gets instantly boosted by his teammate. So he will regain some of that momentum as more water bombs are coming out. Angel Shield does get popped. Getting ready to go down and closer to the finish line. Hojin slowing down.
Whoa, he gets it
again! And nobody from ShowTime can do it!
Oh man, Hojin has such a huge lead right now that at this point, even if he got targeted by a magnet, there is absolutely no chance. Hojin, he has double shield there to help him stroll into the finish line.
Oh, that is so sick there for Hojin. 2 laps, he gets the speed boost shortcut on both of them. And Hojin by a mile with 2 shields in his pocket, able to deliver the win for Sensation, securing the item round win and the 2-0 victory here over ShowTime.
We didn't see a 6-0 happening from Sensation today, but a 6-1 nonetheless, and it felt super one-sided, I must say. The form of Hojin is absolutely on point, and I feel like even if we did go to an ace match, it would be really hard to beat Hojin right now, and I'm really happy for him because in Preseason 1, we saw him struggling to adapt to the new meta in Kart Rider Drift, but so far in Preseason 2, he is absolutely shining.
Yeah, it was a bit of an adjustment period there for Hojin in KDL Preseason 1 as he perhaps didn't live up to the expectations of a lot of fans who would love to see him succeed here in KDL, but so far, I mean, Sensation, they played 2 series already, and although they were 1-1, they're not 2-0. Hojin is just looking so good, especially the sweeping here for Sensation today impressed me so much, in particular by Guard and Percent. Just really great stuff, fantastic synergy, brilliant teamwork. I'm loving what we're seeing out of this 4-man roster.
Yep, and despite not having an item ace, they were able to pick up a win in item set 3-1. Very, I would say, clean overall despite that 1 loss. I feel like Sensation, at their current form, might be even better than the likes of Guangdong Freaks and Live Sandbox, just in terms of how well they're playing as a team.
Really? That's a bold statement there, but I mean, you might be right. We'll have to see those teams face off later on in this season. The Sensation is certainly looking to be much stronger than they were in KDL Preseason 1.
Yep, but unfortunately, they are in 5th place in the standings due to that 1 loss. And this is where we talked about it really mattering as we move on to the postseason that you are not losing a single match when you have 4 teams with 0 losses.
Yeah, and also keep in mind the round differential here for Sensation. Although they are 1-1 and not 2-0, they have a better round differential than Live Sandbox or Guangdong Freaks, who played very close series. So there is potential there for Sensation. You know, oftentimes that round differential is the decider on whether a team is able to make it to the postseason or not. And the way that things have been going for them so far, if Hojin's able to keep this momentum, if he's able to deliver in the ace matches, and they're able to synergize as well as they're doing in speed, they might be heading there.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And again, unfortunately, no amateur rookie teams were able to pick up a win today. And I feel like that's also very unfortunate because I feel like these players coming into KDL Preseason 2, they have shown absolutely the top of their form, I feel like. I can't really say it's their own fault, like, oh, they were making mistakes here and they were just not as good. It felt like everyone was good, but these teams, the better veterans, were just even better.
Yeah, potential in particular, it hurts for them. 3 ace matches in a row against the 3 pro teams here in KDL Preseason 2, and you're not able to come away with a win is a painful one. As it feels like compared to KDL Preseason 1, the skill gap between the pro or established teams and the rookie teams is growing wider and wider.
Yeah, even for ShowTime here, I must say that although their record is at 0-3, I like that they're always able to put a point on the board when it comes to item mode. I feel like that's where they've been able to shine so far, which gave an opportunity to Ghost to finally have his debut in the Ace match. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way. I feel like a lot of these Ace matches are just not going in the way of the rookie teams.
Yeah, and I mean that's part of being a rookie too. Is you're coming here on stage and maybe you don't have as much experience or you're not as established. And it's a lot of pressure. We were talking about this earlier in the first Ace match of the day, where I mean you feel this pressure there is summer, and it can be difficult to deliver against an established veteran who you know is going to be calm, going to not really care too much if he loses because it's one match in a career. But if you're a veteran, I mean those first couple of Ace matches, if you don't win them and you just start losing and losing and losing, it can be hard to have faith in yourself.
Yeah, and then in order to even get to the Ace matches, you first need to be good as a team and win at least in speed or item. And I feel like as long as the rookie teams can keep doing that and get more opportunities, they might have a shot.
Guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we get back, solo match, Group C, round of 32. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you soon.